Some new information on an $800 check for Social Security beneficiaries. I have all the details and what you need to know about this payment right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so during a time when many low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries, including Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB, as well as many seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, and many other people out there are wondering, is there going to be another stimulus check? Are we possibly going to get a raise to our monthly benefits? What's going on with our monthly benefits? And is there any possibility for monthly ongoing payments? There is actually some new information in regards to a one-time $800 check, which I want to share with you right here in this video because this would be specifically focused on Social Security beneficiaries. So let's get into it and discuss all the latest details. However, really quickly before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I am your one and only daily advocate as I'm watching everything very, very closely every single day, making sure that you're getting all the latest updates as new information is hitting the wire literally every single day, which I break down into these short videos so that you can grab as much money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, raises, anything else that's going on right now or that's possibly being talked about, proposed, or possibly in the works of being passed relatively soon. Of course, I want you to know about it immediately so that anytime that something is coming due that you can grab, of course, I want you to get it as soon as possible. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. I'm here for you, right by your side, and I'm here on your team trying to help you out in any way that I possibly can. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and discuss the latest details on this $800 one-time check. All right, so let me tell you the details behind this because this is actually an idea that's been floating around for quite a few months now, but every so often we do get some new details that emerge on this thing. It's not all that often, but we do occasionally get a few remarks on this thing, and I want to give you the latest details on this. All right, so a number of months ago, honestly, when was it even? 8 months ago, probably. A group of senior Senate Democrats came out and they introduced a $1,000 check for Social Security beneficiaries as a result of Medicare expansion. Do you remember this one? Yeah, this happened a long time ago. Like I said, probably 8 months or so ago. Well, originally it was introduced as a $1,000 check. Well, then shortly thereafter, it came out to be an $800 check. So I guess for whatever reason, they decided to cut it down by $200. Not really sure why, but whatever. So that's what it came out to be, is $800, and this is what it's been ever since. So the details behind this are essentially, remember quite a few months ago, we had Bernie Sanders as well as a variety of other lawmakers working on expanding Medicare coverage to include hearing, dental, and vision. Remember all this? Well, as a result of that, they decided to actually cut out dental coverages because it's very expensive, apparently. Well, I think we all probably know dental coverage of any kind is very, very expensive. Just going for a simple cleaning is like $300, right? So, very expensive. Anyway, so they wanted to include hearing, dental, and vision. Well, they left hearing coverage in. Vision coverage was eventually taken out, but again, they kind of added it back in a little bit. It's not fully in there, but they kind of added vision back in a little bit, and then dental never made it back in, and they said it'll likely probably never be added back in simply because it's just way too expensive. Well, as a result of that, they came up with this great idea to send out a one-time $800 check to about 63 million beneficiaries of Medicare, again, otherwise known as Social Security beneficiaries, to help kind of bridge the gap because this dental coverage would not be covered within the Medicare expansion. So, as a result of that, they had this great idea to send out this one-time $800 payment. Now, again, whether it was going to be in the form of a check or a voucher or a prepaid card, not really sure the details on that, but that is what they were talking about. All right, so here's where we currently are right now and what the latest details are on this thing. So again, like I said, it's not all that often that we get updates on this, but every so often there is a little bit of information that comes out and a couple mentions on this thing. And as always, like I said, I'm watching everything closely. So anytime that something comes out that's regarding to money or benefits or checks or anything like this, of course, I want you to know about it so that we can possibly grab anything as soon as they may approve it. But here's what it's coming down to. So, if you probably noticed here, they kind of ditched the idea on Medicare expansion. For whatever reason, they kind of left that idea alone, even though Bernie Sanders made a huge deal about it and acted like this is one of his top priorities, which it probably still is, but for now, this whole plan is on the back burner. But instead of Medicare expansion, now they're working on Medicare for all. Yeah, so they went from Medicare expansion just to include hearing, dental, and vision coverage and possibly lowering the eligibility age by a few years. Now they're going at it for Medicare for all. So essentially, they just want to have like one health insurer across the entire country, which would be Medicare, and then basically just put everybody under Medicare, right? So anyway, that's what they're currently working on now. Now, again, as you can probably imagine, Medicare for all is going to be a major kind of not like a big project, right? It's going to take a very long time to actually get something like this done. It's way more complex than just expanding Medicare. But with this Medicare for all, what they want to do is lower the eligibility age from 65 down to 60, which, by the way, according to the reports, this would actually open up the doors for about 7.5 million additional people immediately. So it seems to me like that number should be higher, but again, that's just what the reports are saying. According to right now, there's about 63 million beneficiaries receiving Medicare benefits. However, if they were to lower the eligibility age from 65 down to 60 immediately, as soon as that would be implemented, the number of people on Medicare would go from about 63 million up to about 70 million immediately, a little bit over that. It would add another 7.5 or so million people just by lowering the eligibility age. So that'd be, kind of a big change as well. Now, again, with that change as well, it would also incur a ton of extra cost onto Medicare. But here's what the extra talk is going on right now. So there's a few ways that we can think about this and a few different schools of thought as far as what they may want to do with this $800 card or this $800 check or whatever they decide it to be. Here's what they're saying. Now, they might approach this in a couple different ways. Number one, implement an $800 one-time card for all of the current Medicare beneficiaries prior to the implementation of Medicare for all. Therefore, this $800 payment would go out to essentially 63 million people, and basically cutting out the 7 million people or 7.5 million people that'd be added onto the program if they were to lower the eligibility age. Basically, they wouldn't get it. So basically, they want to say, let's save a little bit of money right now and send out an $800 card to the the $800 card to the 63 million beneficiaries that are currently on Medicare. So that's one school of thought. The next school of thought would be, let's implement Medicare for all, and then let's send out the card for everybody, right? So then that would add way more additional expense because it would be adding, essentially another 7.5 million people that this card would go out to. And then, of course, the other option would be do nothing. Do nothing at all for this $800 card, because if we get Medicare for all and lowering the eligibility age, then we can possibly work on Medicare expansion and all of this, and then we just kind of forget about the card. So there's multiple different schools of thought about all of this going forward. But we also need to be realistic about this whole situation and realize Medicare for all is going to be a major project for them to work on. This is not going to be something that they can just jam through over the course of a weekend. No, it's going to be a major thing. And realistically, for anything like this to be actually passed and actually go through, it would take a lot of work. I mean, realistically, it's going to take a very long time, probably the vast majority of a year's time, possibly even more than that. And to get widespread support throughout Congress to actually get Medicare for all, maybe kind of a pretty tough feat to actually move forward with. So the likelihood of Medicare for all is probably not all that likely, not anytime soon anyway, even though this is something that they're currently actively kind of trying to pursue. But again, it's not really getting a whole lot of traction around it. The better thing that they would actually be trying to do here would rather be just expanding Medicare, just simply adding hearing, dental, and vision, or any combination of them, even just hearing coverages, which is already in there, not a big deal. They could already add that in. It's already basically in the plan to be added immediately, so that would not be a big deal at all. Vision coverage would certainly be very nice to add in there, as we all know, and like Bernie Sanders has said many times, seniors and older adults, people that need glasses, should be able to afford those glasses, which, by the way, are very expensive, right? So a pair of glasses can be several $100s depending on where you go. They can also be $80, whatever. But either way, it doesn't really matter. They can still be very, very expensive. Well, that's something that Bernie Sanders is also talking about as well is, those people who are Social Security or Medicare beneficiaries should have access to their reading glasses being covered. Again, that would probably make sense because, the whole glasses thing is kind of like on the fence of being medical or not, right? So as we know, Medicare covers medical expenses, but again, glasses are kind of like that on the fence thing. Is it really considered medical? Is it not really? Isn't it accessory? You know what I mean? It's all kinds of different things. Is it durable equipment? You know what I mean? Like they kind of categorize it as so many different things. But again, with this plan, they would want to enter in and add vision coverage as well, which again would help out a lot of people right now. So anyway, these are the latest details on this $800 card. Again, I'm just going to throw this out there. I wouldn't really be counting on this thing anytime soon. If they were to do something like this, realistically, at the pace that things are going right now and where they currently are in this process, I'm going to go out there and say this is probably going to be a very long time out if/when this may actually even happen. But like I've always said, anytime that I do get updates on this thing, of course, I want to come back for you, lay it all out, and let you know what's actually going on right now. Because in the event that this actually does happen, then of course, I want to make sure that you know about it. But, at the current pace that they're moving right now in regards to this thing, it's probably going to be a very long time. So just want to make sure that everybody knows that and that, so we're all on the same page here with what's going on. But it's still possibly a glimmer of hope out there. And again, this would not replace a stimulus check either. In the event a stimulus check is actually approved, this would be above and beyond that. This would be just for Medicare beneficiaries, about 63 million people out there who this would be going out to. Anyway, these are the details that I know for as of right now. As I do get more, of course, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it down and letting you know what's going on in regards to your benefits, money, checks, stimulus, programs, anything else that may be popping up right now. Of course, I want you to know about it. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate it. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. So enjoy your day. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.